is a pleasure to welcome you to the grand opening of Montgomery County's new courthouse. This is a long time coming, and we are very excited about this day, and we're very excited for you to see the wonderful things that have gone on in this building here behind us. First order of business this morning is I would like to ask everyone to rise and turn towards the flagpole for the presentation of the colors by the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Color Guard, and ask you to please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Post go. Post. Officers, attention. Hey! Freeze and huh!
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order! Huh! And face. Forward. March. Officers, fire rate.
Thank you.
Ready.
You may be seated. Sheriff Whip, thank you again for the color guard this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Again,
Again, I want to welcome everyone here today. We are so pleased to have each one of you join us here for this very special occasion. We do have a number of special guests in the audience today as well, and I'll do my best during the course of the morning to recognize a few of you. First, I want to recognize State Delegate Greg Habib and State Delegate Joseph Yost here on the front with us. Also see former Delegate Dave Nutter in the back. Dave, thank you for being here with us this morning as well for this day. We also have many distinguished judges from the county and surrounding localities in our audience today. To all our judicial representatives who are here, thank you very much for joining us today. We also have several members of the Blacksburg and Christiansburg Town Councils. I saw folks walk up earlier. Mayor Rordon, thank you for being here. And the town managers as well. Appreciate Barry and Mark being here. Also, Clay Goodman, our former county administrator, is here, and Clay had laid the groundwork for a lot of work when I came on board in August 2009, and Clay, certainly appreciate your attending today. And certainly I'd be remiss if I did not acknowledge our county supervisors who made all this possible. I'd like to ask the board members that are here to stand so I could recognize you, please. Our chair, Jim Politis, Supervisor Annette Perkins, Supervisor Mary Biggs, Supervisor Matt Gabriel, Supervisor Chris Tuck, and Supervisor Gary Cree. Thank you folks so much for all you do. At this point, I'd like to turn the podium over to the Honorable Judge Marcus Long. Judge Long is going to introduce our board chair.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. What a great event, what a great day. I appreciate each and every one of you being here, and I welcome you to our new court building. It's wonderful, it's functional, it's beautiful. I know everybody who had a part in building this should be congratulated. And they're all up here in the front. My name is Mark Long. I'm on the circuit judges of this Montgomery County. And this is the third courthouse that I've either practiced in. I'm still practicing, but I'm a judge now, so I don't know how much practice we get there. It's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of our Board of Supervisors, James Politis. Mr. Politis is a native of Chicago. He's lived around the country, many different places. And in 1985, he settled here in Montgomery County, and we're certainly glad that he did. He's been wonderful for our county, and great. He's served on many boards and commissions, and too numerous to mention. He works tirelessly for our county, and sometimes a job that's thankless as well. He is no stranger to Virginia. Before he moved here, he served in the Air Force and was stationed in Langley Air Force Base in Hampton. He is a business entrepreneur who started out in the electrical industry before deciding to raise buffalo. And that's quite a gap there, but buffalo gap. But anyway, quite a gap. I don't know why I said that. But he and his wife Jan owned and operated Brush Creek Buffalo Farm from 1993 and 1993 until last year. In addition, they also owned the Brush Creek Buffalo Store from 1995 to 2007. And most importantly, he and his wife have 3 children, all graduates of Auburn High School, so they stuck close to the county, and 2 grandchildren. I'm sure he's quite proud of them. We are quite fortunate that Mr. Politis chose to settle here in Montgomery County. We're fortunate for the public service that he has given our county, and even more, very appreciative of this building. It's a very functional, beautiful courthouse, and he is to be thanked greatly for that. And maybe when he talks to us, he'll tell us which is tougher, budgets or buffalo. I hope he gives us some insight there. But I thank Mr. Politis and the Board of Supervisors, as well as Judge Grubbs, Judge Turk, for their work. Ms. Cole, Ms. Johnson, they're hardworking too. But I've been around a lot of courthouses in Virginia, and this is the most beautiful, functional one I've seen. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Mr. Politis.
Judge Long, I am humbled by your remarks, and I appreciate it very much. But one thing I want to say is, if we didn't have the board we have, which is, I believe, probably the best in the state of Virginia, we wouldn't have accomplished this and many of the things we've done over my 15 years on the board. And I want to thank all our board members for all they work hard. We all work hard, and that's what makes it work. So thank you again very much for the remarks. That was unscripted. Now I have to go to the scripted notes. Don't fall asleep, please. I would like to thank everyone for coming out today to help us celebrate the grand opening of our new courthouse, the largest construction project undertaken by the Board of Supervisors in more than 2 decades. First, a little history. In 1999, the board commissioned a comprehensive study to address the space needs for the government functions. In particular, the study examined additional space needs for the courts. I especially want to acknowledge former board members John Muffo and Doug Myers for their foresight and years of service. Also, the work of the current County Administrator Craig Meadows and Deputy County Administrator Carol Edmonds. General Services Manager Steve Phillips, former County Administrator Clay Goodman, and former engineer Ron Bonema, who also helped to make this a reality. The project architects, Thompson and Linton, delivered a magnificent design that has surpassed expectations of the county, and we hope county residents and all courthouse employees. It's said that good things are worth waiting for, and I hope you will agree this building will provide a safe and secure place for the conduct of the court businesses and for many years to come. Thank you again for participating today. And this has been a long haul for many years, as you've noticed. We started in one spot and landed in another, but I think we built the best we could build for the community, and I hope it'll last for another 75 years or more. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Colin Gibb, and Chief Justice Kinzer, honored guests. Before I get started with my introduction, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Board of Supervisors for their support in the construction of this magnificent building. I think it's something for which you can be proud, and I think the citizens of Montgomery County will be proud of and will use for many, many years. You're good to be congratulated on having this wonderful building built. Now today it is my privilege to introduce the Honorable Ray Wilson Grubbs. Now I say I'm introducing him, but I think everybody here probably knows him well. And he really needs no introduction. Judge Grubbs has served the citizens of Montgomery County and the New River Valley for many, many years with distinction and honor. He is known for his integrity, good judgment, and great judicial temperament. As a judge, and I think more important than anything else that Ray did, he instilled public confidence and trust in the judicial system. People knew that when they appeared before Judge Grubbs that he would consider their case fairly and that and would give a reasoned and good decision. He is a judge that all of the other judges have emulated and we have all admired. And it is important and appropriate that Ray would be here today because more than any other person, I think we can say that Ray is responsible for the construction of this building. And he should be proud of that, and he should be congratulated for that. And Ray, thank you. And without any further ado, I would give you the Honorable Ray Wilson Grubbs.
Thank you, Colin. That's certainly a hard act to follow. I took one step outside earlier this morning, and when I returned to my hotel room, I cut my prepared remarks in half. And I believe I'm the only one sitting up here, Mr. Meadows, that doesn't have an overcoat on this morning. But it's warm in my heart, and that's what counts. Madam Chief Justice, my fellow judges, Mr. McLellis, our distinguished supervisors, Mr. Mellis, and ladies and gentlemen. This building is Montgomery County's 5th courthouse since the county was formed from Fincastle County in 1776. and each successive building has mirrored her growth and her citizens' ever-expanding needs. A prior order of court in 1778 states in part, ordered that John Montgomery, James McGavick, Walter Crockett, Andrew Boyd, and James Newell, or any three of them, agree with workmen to build a log courthouse 20 feet square with a 10-foot shed at the end for a jury room. Well, we have come a long, long way. This new structure will provide 3 courtrooms for each of the circuit, general district, and juvenile domestic relation courts, along with their respective clerk's offices. And in addition, it will house the office and staff of the Commonwealth Attorney, as well as all the various supporting agencies that are required in the courts. As has been alluded to, the planning and construction of this building evolved over a period of 15 or 16 years, following feasibility studies to ensure a structure suitable for taking us well into the 21st century. And it has been accomplished with unparalleled cooperation of our county government. And it was a profound pleasure for me personally to work with our boards of supervisors, our county administrators, over the life of this project. I see our board here and former board members, and I can say, ladies and gentlemen, a warm thank you. Without your wise counsel, this project could never have become a reality. A courthouse is so much more than merely a building. It is often, as here, the very centerpiece of the community. It reflects a certain quality of life enjoyed by our citizens and exhibits a strong commitment to law and justice. Justice Lewis F. Powell, Jr. of Richmond, who prior to his death was a justice on the Supreme Court of the United States, once wrote, and I paraphrase, "A courthouse reflects a shared respect for the rule of law in our country. A building, even a new one as here, is only as functional as the expertise and dedication of those men and women who work in and maintain the structure. And during my tenure, I have been extremely proud to work alongside many of these individuals who give so much to their job and in their devoted service to the community. And today, as we celebrate and dedicate this courthouse, we happily launch a new era of public service and administration of justice in Montgomery County. And thank you for your attention this morning, and thanks for being here to commemorate this.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bobby Turk, and I'm one of the circuit judges here in Montgomery County. I, too, want to thank the board for this wonderful building that you have given to us. We watched from the old building for 3 years. We watched the first piece of dirt move by the backhoe to finally the final point when we were moving in it about a month ago. I think it is a building that you all should be very proud of. And I think it's one that the citizens of this community can really be proud of now and for the future to come. I know the old one didn't last quite as long, but I think you've got a building here that will serve this community well, probably for 75 to 100 years. So again, I think each of you needs to be commended on the job well done in that behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate today for this celebration to have with us the head of the Commonwealth judicial system. We have the Honorable Cynthia D. Kinzer, Chief Justice of the Virginia Supreme Court. Justice Kinzer serves as our Chief Justice and was appointed to the Supreme Court by Governor George Allen in 1997. She assumed the position as Chief Judge in February 1, 2001. Prior to her appointment to the court, she served as United States Magistrate Judge for the United States District Court for the Western District of Virginia. She served as the Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 trustee of the United States District Court, Bankruptcy Court for the Western District of Virginia. She has served as elected Commonwealth's Attorney for Lee County. She practiced law in Pennington Gap. She clerked for the United States District Court Judge Glenn M. Williams in the Western District Court of Virginia. Chief Justice Kinzer earned her undergraduate degree with highest honors from the University of Tennessee in 1974. She received her law degree from the University of Virginia in 1977. She is a founding member of the Virginia 4-H Foundation, served on the board of directors of the Federal Magistrate Judges Association. She's a board member or a board of trustees of Appalachian School of Law. In 2011, Chief Justice Kinzer was awarded the 2011 Thomas Jefferson Foundation Medal in Law. She currently serves on the Conference of Chief Justices Board of Directors. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with my great pleasure and honor to introduce to you the Honorable Chief Justice Cynthia D. Kinzer, Chief Justice of the Virginia Supreme Court.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. My fellow members of the judiciary, the federal judiciary as well, Judge Turk, members of the General Assembly, the local officials of Montgomery County, members of the bar that I'm sure are here, and ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a distinct honor and privilege for me to celebrate with the people of Montgomery County this morning to dedicate this outstanding new courthouse facility. I want to thank Judge Turk and the other judges of the 27th Judicial District and Circuit for inviting me to address you this morning and to celebrate with you. Building a courthouse requires far more than a single decision that a new facility is needed. This building is an example of the great things that we can accomplish with the cooperation of government and the community. Everyone involved, from your county officials to the individual members of the community, should take great pride in their accomplishments and in the contribution and perseverance in this project and seeing it through to today, especially in these tough economic times. This new facility replaces the building that was built in 1979. 33 years later, that 1979 structure unfortunately was not able to meet the growing needs of Montgomery County. It was not able to provide an adequate and safe environment to keep pace with Montgomery County's growing population. In its place, we are here today to celebrate and dedicate this building, multiple times larger than the former structure and designed to meet the modern conditions of Montgomery County. In our society, courthouses have always played a unique role. Ever since the days of the American colonies, the local county courthouse has been the heart and lifeline of the community. It was not only the center from which justice was administered and dispensed, but it was the place where local policy was made. It was also the keeper of the permanent vital records of the community, covering births, marriages, taxes, last will and testaments. Courthouses traced the cycle of human life from birth to death. According to the National Center for State Courts, 95% of all cases filed in this country are filed in state courts. Whether it's a criminal case, a domestic relations dispute, or a personal injury matter, they all come to state court, and people will likely find themselves there. Thus, courthouses such as this one, and the judges and judicial employees who work here, are the face of justice in the United States. Local courthouses are where life-altering decisions are made for the majority of Americans. It is where justice lives. It is the place where people and the government touch. I remind you that this courthouse, as do all courthouses, belong to the people, and this one belongs to the people of Montgomery County. As such, this courthouse building must depict the dignity and importance of the work that is performed within its walls. A ceremony to dedicate this facility to the administration of justice should give us a moment to reflect on the pivotal role that we all play as the judiciary, as elected officials, and as individual citizens in preserving the rule of law. John Adams, our nation's second president, wrote, "The very definition of a republic is an empire of laws and not of men." The idea that we are a nation of laws and not of men is the principle that the government's authority is legitimately exercised only in accordance with written and publicly disclosed laws that are equally enforced in accordance with established procedural guidelines. If you look, you will find that every definition of the rule of law includes adjudication by an independent and impartial judiciary. As Justice Felix Frankfurter wrote, "There can be no free society without law administered through an independent judiciary. If one person can be allowed to determine for himself or herself what is law, then every person can." That means first chaos and then tyranny. The rule of law really affords us two basic protections. It provides that the principles of law applied to a particular case will be reasonably predictable, and it means that the rules will be applied the same without regard to the identity of the parties. The rule of law is the foundation for both the order of society and our individual liberties. Just as order in a courtroom is impossible without rules to govern those who come before the court, so too order in society is impossible without the public pronouncement of laws equally applicable to all. The rule of law guarantees our individual liberties, respecting us as equals and striving to deliver justice and fairness, regardless of whether we come from poverty or privilege. The stability of the rule of law allows us to organize our lives, plan our futures, and resolve disputes with the knowledge that we are all on equal footing under the law. As I think about the rule of law, I'm reminded of the four words that are etched on the stone of the facade of the Supreme Court of the United States. Those words say, "Equal justice under law." The Montgomery County Courthouse building serves as a testament to the dedication and foresight of the local judiciary and the county officials. It is a place where the rule of law is followed and where the rights of citizens are protected. This building is symbolic of the importance of an independent and impartial judiciary, and the court must be accessible and responsive to the people of Montgomery County. This is the building where the administration of justice in this county will take place, and it has the majesty and grandeur that is befitting of a hall of justice. But if this occasion is to have lasting significance, it must come not from the dedication of the building, but from the dedication of all of us to respect the law and to work for equal justice for all. It is the people who work in the judiciary who make the court spectacular, not the building itself. In closing, I again thank all of you who planned this marvelous occasion and for inviting me. When I stood here this morning and watched the flag of our nation and the flag of our Commonwealth be raised, it always brings tears to my eyes to see our flag. I'll never forget, many, many years ago, I spent 4 months in India on an exchange program. And when I landed back in the United States and saw the American flag waving that I had not seen waving in 4 months, I'll never forget how I felt, and I remember that every time I see our flag. I congratulate all of you on your hard work that has resulted in this courthouse facility. The building we dedicate today is a bridge that spans the past, the present, and the future. Everyone here today, judges, lawyers, judicial employees, county officials, and citizens of Montgomery County, have a role in the administration of justice and in preserving the rule of law. So I leave you with this thought. It's by Arthur T. Vanderbilt, who served as the Chief Justice of the New Jersey Supreme Court from 1948 to 1957. And I quote, "If citizens have respect for the work of the courts, their respect for law will survive the shortcomings of every other branch of government. But if they lose their respect for the work of the courts, their respect for law and order will vanish with it." Again, to all the citizens of Montgomery County, congratulations on this beautiful facility. I know that it has been many years of hard work, but it reflects the dedication of this vibrant community. And it warms my heart to see communities come together like this and work together to achieve things that are in the interest of everyone. Congratulations, and thank you again for inviting me to be with you. It's been my privilege.
Chief Justice Kinzer, thank you again for joining us today on this chilly morning to share this very special event with us. And also thank you to all our speakers that have spoken this morning. This again is a wonderful day for the county, and we certainly appreciate you being here to celebrate it with us. There are a couple of more folks that I want to recognize, one of whom I should have recognized earlier, Mayor Richard Ballingy. Mayor, thank you so much for the cooperation of the town and helping us get this building put together and in place, and thank you again for everything you've done. Also, Superintendent Brenda Blackburn from the Montgomery County Schools was here with us this morning. And then Les Bassnight from DeVere Construction, the folks that built this building for us. Les, thank you for all the hard work that you and your firm did on our behalf. Before we enjoy our refreshments, I'd like to remind everyone today that courthouse security is in effect. In order to get everyone through security, I'd like to request that everyone that has a name tag issued start through security first immediately after we do the ribbon cutting ceremony. If you do not have a name tag and you're here to enjoy the public tours, which will start around 11, please enjoy the refreshments we have over here on the plaza. I don't know what hot things we have over there, but hopefully there'll be something until the first group gets through security. Now I'd like to ask everyone that has a picture of scissors on their name tag to join us with the ribbon cutting. After we have a few photos with the group, we'd like to invite anyone else who would like to join us for a photo. At this time, I'm going to ask all those folks with the scissors to line up across the front here, and then we'll be adjourned. Hey.
Man, I found a job for you. Chris is on the other end. Huh? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Low man on top. That's what happens when you get famous.
That's been in my house for about a month now.
One, two, three.
Folks, thank you again for being here. Please enjoy the refreshments, and the tours will start shortly. Thank you.